Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today we're here tackling the bonus Zoo Hill climb. This climb starts at Cougar Mountain Drive and heads up towards the radio towers for 1.15 miles with an elevation gain of 270 feet. I call it the bonus Zoo Hill climb because right here on the left, that's where you would have been just finished the Zoo Hill and then you suddenly turn up and there's more climbing to do, and this climb starts really steep. You're gonna see right now as I'm riding out of the saddle that the gradient is going to jump up to that 14% mark, but most of it I would say is hovering around the 10 to 12. And it keeps this up for a good while, but not the whole way up to the top of Cougar Mountain. I'd say for this climb, this profile, there's sort of two main ramp up periods, and that's in the beginning and closer towards the end. But it's still a good deal of climbing, and especially for the Zoo Hill, I'll link it up here above. That's right before this. There's other ways to get to this point where you can start this climb. The Zoo Hill is just probably one of the most popular ways, and that climb is a 1,000 feet of elevation across 2 miles. And with an average gradient of 8.3%, you'll probably already be pretty tired. So for some folks, we call this the bonus, that you can just keep going up and enjoy some more climbing to do. So definitely with that in your legs, or no matter which way you get to this hill, you can also go up through the Montreux connector to the Zoo Hill, or you can just ride up the Cougar Mountain Way from Lakemont Boulevard, which is another good climb. But no matter what climbing you're doing, getting here and riding up all the way to Cougar Mountain is definitely no easy feat, and it definitely can get you quite tired. So we're still climbing here, and I think the gradient has definitely dropped down a little bit since we began at the hairpins. But after a while, this is really going to ease off into something that's pretty much flat and even sort of negative before we head into the final climbing section. One highlight I think of this climb, other than just the idea of going up all the way as far as the roads reach on Cougar Mountain, is that there's actually some pretty nice views heading up. If you look towards the left, there's going to be beautiful homes on your right and left that sort of overlook off Cougar Mountain. But you'll also catch glimpses off to the left of Lake Sammamish, and if you're really lucky, Mount Baker as well. And actually, the destination that we're heading to today by going on top of this climb is the Million Dollar View. The Million Dollar View is this pergola just standard right at the top, where there's a viewpoint of the entire Lake Sammamish and Mount Baker right at the back. So it's a pretty cool thing to see and area to check out once we get there. But for now, I guess we're just having to put in the work to keep climbing it up. So as you've seen, the climb has still been sort of relentless bit. It's definitely not as edgy as when it first started at the 12%, but there's definitely more to climb. Though I think in the next bender soon, it's going to start easing down. Yeah, like right here, it's going to start easing down and it's going to turn pretty much flat. In terms of the road surfaces for this climb, it sort of varies throughout. In the beginning, it's a little bit potholy near the hairpins. For most of it, it's fine. But for the final part, actually, it is a gravel path. So it'll come up in the video again soon. But it's something that where I think the gradient for the dirt path isn't that flat. So when you approach it, you, depending on your comfort level, you may want something a little wider or something at least with some tread. So for reference, in this ride, I am riding a 32C slick tire, the Continentals. So I think I probably, just because it was at such a gradient for descending the dirt path, I would have preferred to have something at least with some tread or something slightly wider, but I'll show you guys that in a bit again as well. But anyway, as mentioned, this is sort of the downhill part that you get, so it's a nice reprieve. So I would say a lot of the toughest climbing is basically done for this bonus hill and riding up to Cougar Mountain. There's definitely some more climbing to do, but it's not going to be nearly as steep as what we just encountered throughout and sort of sustained. So as we ride up here, we're going to start encountering this gravel path, and approaching this gravel path, there's going to start to be an incline. this incline reaches up to about, I think, 6 to 8%. So I think with this path, it's also fairly wide. So, and there's not that much traffic at all. So there's not much concern on that end. Honestly, when I was riding this, I was second guessing myself whether I had the right tires for the job. But just to make the video for you guys, I just decided to go with it. Honestly, there is a lot of clear areas where it's just packed dirt. But some of it, as you can sort of tell from the video, the gravel does get packed a little bit. And especially for me, where I'm actually not much of an off-road rider, that is probably my own comfort level. So I would say you probably can make your own calls. But for me, I would say for this climb at a gradient, I would recommend something probably around 32C with at least some slight tread, and you'll be more than confident in doing this. But anyway, this is sort of the final approach. After you climb this gravel dirt path, you'll be at the Million Dollar View Pergola, and then you'll also be near the radio towers. In that area, it's also nice to just go to when not on a bike. There's a lot of different hiking trails that tour the area, so you can go in a loop and whatnot. I'm clearly not suited to do any hiking at the moment with my cleats on, but on another day, I've definitely been there before just to explore and walk around the area. So here we are at the parking lot, and I'm just going to show you guys where the Million Dollar View sign is coming up here. I don't really want to spoil the view for you guys. I want you guys to maybe try it on yourselves and then go and see what it's like. But it's very simple. Once you go on from here, it's only just a few steps and you'll be on your way to check out Lake Sammamish and the Mount Baker view. From here, I just wanted to show you guys the descending video as well. This was probably the only... there's probably two areas to look out for. One is back onto this gravel path. Depending on your tires, again, you probably want to find the lines that have the least amount of packed gravel together. There are those lines. I'm not super experienced on off-road, so this was sort of on the barrier for me of what's comfortable, or like very slightly on the uncomfortable side with slick tires. But I think a lot of people would probably manage here, but definitely just have that in advance if you want to take on this hill. Other than that, the descent is really nice. As I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of beautiful views, especially out to the right side now of Lake Sammamish. Great looking homes, and you're just going to make your way all the way down. The only other thing I'd call out about the descent is at the very end, which I'll mention again, is there is that initial steep part of the climb where there was that 2 hairpins coming up on the Cougar Mountain Road. The reason why you want to watch out there is one, is that it's actually quite steep in that area, about the 13%. Also, right after the last hairpin is actually a stop sign, and the Southeast 60th Street has the right of way. So if you're definitely not watching your speed and you're just sort of going into that hairpin a bit blind, there's a chance you might not be able to slow down enough, or the cars coming up from Southeast 60th Street might not catch you. So definitely find ways to really lower your speed there. But just because as I mentioned before, with the climb having a slight decline coming up where you got a good break, that means even for the descent there is a tiny bit of climbing that you have to do to get back down, but it's not too bad. But anyway, with that, I think I'll just leave the rest of this video here for you guys. But my question for you guys today is, have you finished the Zoo Hill before? And have you been interested to tackle this climb on as well? So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.